Okay. I said there are heavy here that weren't for the first part, so I'm not insulted if you're learning something else. And, listen, maybe pick up something here at the end. So on the top of page Tesvav, as a bituim lekach niton liras b'tzimon haruchni, there are many manifestations of this turbulent and wonderful change, this transition from Golus to the world of Geula. There are many manifestations. There are many ways that this is expressed, that we see how things are different. We see an increasing spiritual thirst, tzimon ruchni, that we see that all the years of Golus, that again, there were always great tzaddikim, but to see such a widespread tzimon for ruchnias, which is getting stronger, tzimon lepnimius, a tremendous tzimon. There's just go look in the Svarim store, see what people are learning and what people are thinking about, and the different chaburas and what's going on. There's a tremendous tzimon for pnimius. In other words, there is this chayfetz, there is this desire, this awakening for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the nishmas HaTorah, for the neshama of the Torah, the pnimius HaKesh LaHashem, to resume this kesher with Hashem. It was the neshama of the Jewish people is picking up on this hisayrus of ahava that's coming from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, this transmission, this light of ahava that's coming from Hashem Baruch. Kol mi shemabit beperspektivas rechavas v'aruchas. Whoever looks at this in a broad, in a bigger perspective, shall esver shonim that not why doesn't it change today, but over the course of time and years, Yochel Liras as a talich sha'am Yisrael Oiver can see that we're going through something. There's something remarkable. There's something historical that is taking place. Keitzidu Yotzim HaGolos, how we're finally leaving Golos. Again, that doesn't mean that everybody is necessarily picked up and gone, and that doesn't even mean that everybody that's in Israel has left Golos. But something has changed. V'halech v'shav el briuso, that the nation is on its way back to its health, briuso. La'at la'at, shav el shleimuso haruchanis. Slowly, slowly, the nation is returning to its shleimus, its ruchnistik shleimus. Zui Torah shleima v'amuka shenichtavu aleh svarim rabim. There's much written about this. Hamlamdim lahabid la'omek. Lizhais is a talich hapnimi. There are many svarim that are being written now over these past years, since that time of the 6-Day War. There are many, many svarim that are written, helping us to try to see in a deeper way, to identify that this talich pnimi, that there's something going on. There's some talich pnimi that's taking place. Bokayemes es kadmus v'eskarves lakadusha v'al agula, where there is this movement, this hiskarves, getting closer and closer to kedusha, or shleimus hagula. It would have been impossible to think of there being such a dvar Torah like a limud like we're doing right now, 30, 40 years ago when I was growing up, or even the kinnis that's taking place everywhere. That right now there are probably 5,000 programs that are going on. I don't know how Charlie is speaking at each of them, but there are 5,000 programs that are going on, and again, the older Chevy here remembers what Tisha B'Av was like 50 years ago. I mean, if you were holding the little booklet the right way, it was already a chiddush, you understand? If you were holding it the right way, it was already a chiddush. It was like, everybody just sitting back and that 75 cents package of misery, sitting there, Hebrew Publishing Company, glossy page. You can't read it if it's too much light in the room. What? People are looking, they want. There's this simon, there's something amazing that has happened over these years. It's amazing. Torah amuka zu gam lamedes lahavin nachonis hamashberim va'etgarim. And this Torah that's coming out now, like this Torah that's coming out is also revealing to us a deeper way how to deal with mashberim, which means the crises in life and challenges. Etgarim is challenges. Shanim lefamim kinesigos kashas mehakodesh, which on the surface seem to us to be major setbacks in this march towards Yerushalayim, in this march towards Mashiach. But with the help of learning, when you learn Panemius HaTorah, when you're learning this form, you begin to understand what these little baby steps back, what they mean in the bigger picture of where we are right now. And they teach us, these svarim and these teachers help us to understand, to read hamapa, to read the map, la'omek. And to see the tova pnimi that's gonus ba'am Yisrael, that's the tova pnimi. Imagine, I don't know what's going to be this year with Uman because of the matzav over there, but how many Jews were there last year? Can I know? Such things, all these different things that have been going on. And these Sfarim are helping us to understand the urgency of how all of this big Pesach that happened, that it needs to be brought out el hapoel. And that we should all be shutfim. We should all take a role and be partners in this increasing light that's revealed. Klal Shaldavar. The bottom line is, Etzem ha'agah el Yerushalayim. The very fact that we returned to Yerushalayim in 1967, she'nitna lanu b'neis upela me'es Hashem, that Yerushalayim was given back to us with this great miracle from Hashem. Harihi mi'ida al hisnoitzus hamadrega ha'muka shel hakesh Hashem. There's nothing that bears greater testimony to this new reality of that old ancient kesher of ahava with Hashem coming back, being once again part of our lives. Madregas ahava v'advekas. All the conversation now is about ahava and dvekas. Ahava and dvekas. Therefore, we understand that the time has come to do whatever we can to be ma'oira this love in our children, our grandchildren, our students, and each other, to be ma'oira this ahava, ad shetova kalapidei till it burns like a fiery torch. For all the long years of Galus, we were in the Zufim, which means we were cast aside, we were pushed away. And Hashem gave us very strong, very clear instructions. We swore that we were going to wait until He awakened the desire, until He showed us that He wants it, until He showed us that He's back in, that He wants to move in with us again. We're taught, it was taught to us in the Nevuos of Yeshaya that we're now going to be learning every Shabbos. That once Hashem gives the signal, and we have that wink that He wants very, very badly to have this relationship with us, and that that way of Golus is finished. And that Hashem's chayfes is to be together with us. We have to take this cue, and we have to be Messiah b'chol ois with all of our strength. To uncover this ahava within ourselves, and to respond to Hashem's demonstration of excitement, of love. That's how we began yesterday, Shabbos Chazon, and all of the talk through Tisha B'Av was this nakuda. Not to be silent, not to be quiet. And not to rest. Yeshuasa Asher Yivra, until the entire fire of the Yeshua is revealed. Zeu she'omer Yeshaya Navi. And this is what the Navi Yeshaya is saying. She'ein lonu l'shtoik v'lachashais. Not to be quiet anymore. Not to be silent. We're not a bunch of lo yuslachs anymore, sitting in Gola someplace with a bunch of anti-Semites in Poland or in Taiman or in Morocco. Ein lonu l'shtoik v'lachashais. Ad asher yizgala oresh Yerushalayim. Until the light of Yerushalayim is fully revealed. Lo'iris atzmeinu, v'af lahaskiris ahava klape shmaya, and to be mo'ir ourselves, and to express how it hurts us that we're not there yet, and how painful it is for us to see that there's so many things that are against this, and so on. Al titni damiloi. Don't let Hashem be silent. Don't let that hisayrus within ourselves to be silent. And the only reason that we know that we can do this, and we could scream and yell, and that it's no longer the mahalach to be silent, is because Hashem has showed us that He's chafetz b'kach, that He wants this. He wants us to want what He wants. Kfi sha'omer ki chafetz Hashem bach. Chafetz Hashem bach. Therefore, we have to be ma'ira the ahava mitzidenu k'chasna mechayach el kalaso. Like the chasna, when the chasna is smiling to the kala. And the kala understands from that smile of the chasna that he wants to be closer to her. She understands from the look on his face, and he understands from her. And so she's megala her ava. So Hashem has winked to us, and He's smiling to us. And Mimela, the Karla, that's us, has to be Mis'oyer, connect Lagala Sahavasa. The Karla is very shy. The Karla is a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit embarrassed. But the Karla has to be Mis'oyer with this Ahava to respond to the gesture that's made by the Chas. And the Karla then is more and more Ahava in the Chas. So too, Hashem, on the day that He brought us back to Yerushalayim, Hashem smiled at us. He showed us His chayfetz and His ratzon. Therefore, we have to work now to show our love for Him and to smile back and to be more with each other more and more ahava. And to ask Hashem that we want to see more in a clearer way. And we can't go on anymore like this without that ahava being shown to us. And these are the psukim in Navi, in Yeshaya, Samach Beis, that I was referring to yesterday. For the sake of Tzion for Yerushalayim, I won't be silent. L'man Yerushalayim lo eshkot, and l'man Yerushalayim, I will no longer be still. I'm not going to be quiet. I'm not going to be still. Ad yetze kanoiga tzidka v'yishuasa, until her light and her victory emerges resplendent. Kilapid yiva, like a burning torch. Lo ye'amer lach od azuva. Never again shall Yerushalayim be called forsaken. Never again. And nor shall Eretz Yisrael ever be called desolate. Ki loch yikarei cheftzi ba. From now on, Hashem says you're going to be called, the Navi told us, you're going to be called the one in whom I delight, the one whom I desire. That's what Eretz Yisrael's new name is, Cheftzi Ba. And the Jewish people's new name is Cheftzi Ba, no longer Azuva, no longer Shmeima. L'artzech Be'ula. Again, Be'ula, intimacy. L'artzech Eretz Yisrael, Be'ula is Hashem's Kala, Hashem's bride. And Eretz Yisrael will bring forth fruit, will bring forth children. Because Hashem is longing for you. He desires you. And the land shall be married. Married. It's even more than being married. Ki yival bachu besula, yivolach banayich, u'mesayis chas nakala, yosis alayich elokayich. The way the bacher and his kala are together, that joy, yosis alayich elokayich, of that connection, of that intimacy. Al chol Masayich Yerushalayim hifkadeti shomer. So Hashem says, I have set on your walls shomer. Those are the tzaddikim. The tzaddikim who are speaking to us in the language of Pnimius, in the language of the heart, in the language of Nishmas Yisrael, who are speaking to us from a deep, deep, real place, not the ones that Dashanim and those Rabbanim that are talking the same. The tzaddikim who are talking from that place of Nishmas Yisrael, that place of Chafetz Hashem, of Cheftzi Bach, Chafetz Hashem Bach. These are the Shomim that Hashem has pointed, the guardians who are on the walls. All day and all night. Tamid lo yecheshu. They're never ever quiet. They never ever rest, these tzaddikim. Hamaskirim es Hashem. Al dami lachem. Those who are maskirim es Hashem, these tzaddikim, al dami lachem. Don't be silent. And don't give Hashem, don't let Hashem be silent. Don't give Hashem any rest. Ad yechanein v'ad yosim es Yerushalayim tehila ba'aretz. Until Hashem will establish and place once again Yerushalayim as the tehila, as the beauty, as the splendor of the entire world. So, Chaver, that's the way that we began. And that's the way that we end. The Nakuda of Oimdas Yerugleni B'Shavach Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim HaBenuya Ki Ish HaChubal HaYachtav. One of the biggest things that's needed now. Levin was talking about it this morning. Ahavas Yisrael Ki Ish HaChubal HaYachtav. Because he alluded to all the fighting and the arguing and the screaming that's going on between Jews at this time. And the reason for all of this fighting in Yerushalayim Shalmat is because there is this consciousness, there is this awareness that something has changed. But that triggers in different people different things. Those who are deep into Kedusha, it triggers unbelievable aliyah in Avodas Hashem. But there are those who are who are not ready yet, who are not there yet. And this change, this shift that has taken place towards Geula, this demonstration of Hashem's love is triggering in many, many Jews all kinds of different things. And as a result of that, we're missing this Lamana Chayv Rayaya Dabanda Shalom Bach, Laman Beis Hashem Lekenu Avaksha Toivlach. That there are these milchamas that are constantly going on between Jews. But even these milchamas, as Rav Kook spoke about, because he was caught in the crossfire, Rav Kook. He was a maskir as Hashem, a lover of Yerushalayim, and he was caught in the crossfire of how Jews behaved and reacted to that awakening of Hashem's love. And therefore he saw, even in the anger and even in the fighting, Rav Kook saw a resurgence of that longing to connect, of that ahava mitzidenu from us. And therefore, even the arguing and the fighting, those are also, as painful as they are, they're all steps towards l'shem yichud kudshabichu shchintei, to that yichud of kudshabichu shchintei Yerushalayim Shamali Yerushalayim Shalmata. Let me end with a tiny little story. I think I might have told it to you a year or two ago. This time, I don't remember. It was the tzaddik Rabbi Chil from Alexander. Rabbi Chil from Alexander, when he was a little boy, he was learning in Cheder. And he came home sobbing, crying. He came home from Cheder. His father was a big tzaddik, a big guy, and a Feivel from Gritza. So his father asked him, what is it? What happened in Cheder? What happened? And the kid is crying. Rabbi Chil from Alexander, his son is crying and crying. His father can't get anything out of him. Finally, the father sends the shamas to go and bring the Melamed from Cheder, to bring the boy's Rebbe. And the Malamed comes, and Rav Feivel asks the Malamed what happened to Yechiel. He came home, he can't talk, he's crying the whole time. He can't even talk. So the Rebbe said that I was learning with him a little bit of Navi. And I learned with the children how the Plishtim took the Aron of Hashem. The Plishtim took the Aron of Hashem, and that the Aron was Beshevi, was in captivity. And when I said that, little Yechiel just ran out of the cheder. He's screaming and crying, "I'm so sorry." So Rav Feivel told the Malamed that I want you to sit down with Yechiel, and I want you to learn with him the next kapitel, the next parak in Navi, where the next parak talks about how the Plishtim brought the Aron back, the Kavod Gadol, that the Aron came back to Machni Yisrael, to the Jewish people. And you'll see that little Yechiel will be fine, that he'll be happy. So I guess that's a good way to end Yontif, that it should be a Yontif. And to say, Rebbeinu Shalom, the parak of the Aron being taken away, we learned. And we've had many Tisha B'Avs telling over the story about how the Aron was taken away by the Plishtim. And if we're still crying Tisha B'Av, Tavshin Pen Pei Beis, it's because we need you to teach us the next kapitel, the next parak. And we're waiting for that parak. It should be taught soon. And each one of us should be zeicher with our families and all the Jewish people in good health to sit down with our Malamed Torah La'am Yisrael in good health and to learn that parak of Nachamu, Nachamu, Ami, Yom Lekechem, Navdaru Alev Yishalayim, V'kiru Eleh, that the time has come for the Gula. We should be zeicher, Ayin V'ayin Yuvushu V'Shem, Tziyam L'Gula Shvamitis, Mehevi Amen, Amen, V'Amen. V'chanan V'Kashim V'Chaz Baruch L'Zak S'Ol Ficha Chirlon Torah Mishnah, Ma'ich Chavos Ma'asig, Yad Torah V'Yadeh.